Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika Zen. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the
Come on in, y'all.
The kids, I don't want to see a damn Tahada. If you look like a Tahada, get out my damn face, all right? Try
where the real talk begins. Kick off your shoes.
Let's get into it, honey. Let's get into it. This is my review recap, child.
And the vibe so sweet. This is
When I tell y'all
safe
that
space for your
and the
soul.
foolery and the
Where
messiness
stories unfold and self-love takes control. From movies
I
to
could have had a
the
VA, all right? This was supposed to
She's
be.
breaking it down with a crown on her head and a heart so sound.
Because Ronnie is a
Light a candle, sip some tea.
Maybe they should have named this
Just let
That's
it be.
Sad.
You're not alone, we got your friend. Welcome home.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you spend a Saturday.
Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den, and we are now talking sisters, honey. It's been a long time since I left you. Now, listen, y'all. I know I have not been doing the recaps and the reviews of, the sisters of it all because, baby, they be working my nerves, and I just ain't got it to do no more the way that I used to. On top of that, health is health and then life is life. And then, I got to put my priorities in order. So usually I'm just with the ladies. We do the watch parties now. So join us if you can. Watch along with us. Watch the episode with us live. And then right after the fact, we give our thoughts and reactions. But however, I am here today pretty much to do synopsis. I have synopsis for episodes 8, 9, and 10. Had them since last week, and I was like, today, you know what? I know it's the day before, but I might as well use them while I have them so it's not a complete waste and we can have a little bit of discussion. And I just feel like episode 8 is really about to work my damn nerves because I get the point of it all, but then I don't get the point of it all because not us starting out this season with next of kin and having Danny be shocked and surprised that Sabrina has her down as her next of kin and asking is it okay for them to share the information with everybody that's in the room. So fast forward now after everything that Danny has been through, we now want to say, oops, okay, sorry, you're not the daggone next of kin. Hold up, wait a minute, let's get rid of that and let's have you have to search, or we're gonna search for another daggone person that's a family member for her just so that we can close her story out. And I'm assuming either say we gotta pull the damn plug or we gotta go ahead and move her to another facility, right? When she's awarded the state now because we can't find no other kin, or we all of a sudden gonna have some long lost damn cousin pop up out of nowhere. Because according to Danny, Sabrina only had her grandmother. I don't know where the mother and father's at. Maybe she was the only child and they ain't have no siblings. That's usually who we go to first. And if it's not that, then it would be a married person and their child. And we know that Sabrina, unfortunately, never got to have no kids and she was not married. So what are we really doing here? Okay, that's what I need to know, y'all. Like, what are we doing on top of us? Already have Danny going through all this craziness and foolishness with this damn cop yet again. So we got to see trauma on top of 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 trauma. Enough, damn it. Okay, I have had enough. I have had my full. Let's get this damn thing together. All right, can we? Shall we? Baby, please. I'm begging y'all. All right. Now, let's go ahead and pull these damn synopsis up because this is not gonna be like a long video. Okay, we're gonna get down to the get down and say what I gotta say, and that's it, that's all. Now I get it. And one thing I have given them credit for, wait, I'm sorry, first of all, that's the wrong synopsis. And second of all, I understand us needing to, because I have actually said that I give credit where credit is due, that the writers have been, or, yeah, okay. I'm going to say this. I like that we're bringing real life situations into this, right? Season 9, we had, Karen having to deal with losing the baby. We had grief. We had postpartum. We had depression. Definitely real things that are being brought to light. Then this season, we're having the trauma of being SA'd, of course, with Danny's situation or being attacked, questioning. On top of that, this is somebody that I knew, that I invited in, that I had relations with before, but now he's came at me in a different way, that's a violent way. And on top of that, he is a person of authority. I get all those things, and I actually have said several times that I give them kudos for bringing real life situations to this. Having said that, I get frustrated because I've read the Shaw down when they did this with sickle cell, right? Sickle cell is real. We know the suffering, and we know that you have to make your point and bringing something to light, but also pretty much get the show to the destination that you wanted to get to, right? To the story, which way you want the story to go. But it also frustrates me when we bring up real things, but then we actually take the time to fully flush it out in a real way. And that's where I get frustrated, and then I say, don't even bring the subject up then if you're not going to do it right. Even when they mention sickle cell in here, they kind of did it in a flimsy way just to prove the point and have Rich and Sabrina go through their things. And I feel like that's the same thing that they're doing with this. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring up what it's saying the synopsis is for episode 8, and I'm sure most of you have already seen the trailer. And you've seen that the doctor is kind of telling Danny in the preview, girl, we need to find who is Sabrina's next of kin. And she's saying, well, I thought I was. And then the doctor is saying, well, that was according to her job, right? And so now she learns that she doesn't have the decision-making authority in Sabrina's care, right? Fatima gains some new information that's putting her one step closer to who done bombed Andy's car. That's what the synopsis tells us, right? And the name of the episode is going to be Best Laid Plans. My frustration specifically is with the Danny part because, again, she's dealing with her own trauma. If we were going to go this direction, because this is real life, right? I get it. Sometimes if you don't have all your paperwork in order, even if you have a will, that's not even enough. And that's something that I learned, and maybe that's why it's such a touchy subject for me, because I literally had to do so much stuff over this past year when my sister passed away. And because she was not married or didn't have a child, and then became, her father's already deceased, but her mother's still living, the siblings, everybody had to sign off on everything. And there was paperwork she had at her job that had myself, my brother, so on and so forth. Listen, we then all had to sign off on that and have an agreement that it was okay for the check to be put into my name. And then that was sent to me. It's different steps for different procedures. And baby, when I tell you, they put you through it, even to get into the apartment. If you were not somebody living in the apartment, there's so many different steps for that, right? I didn't realize how much stuff went into it. And that's not even preparing for the funeral if the person is gone, or being able to give certain details, at the hospital and have control over what's going to happen there if the person has you down for a proxy. Now, so one lesson in all of this, right, is that you do have to have your paperwork in order. You do have to say who you want in charge of things. You do have to make plans. But typically a younger person is not going to have those plans because they're not going to think that they're going to be dying anytime soon, right? As you work in, probably the first places that you start putting that stuff down at is your job, right? And then you go from there and start expanding as you're getting married and you're having kids and all of those other things. So thinking about Sabrina as a young, single, healthy woman who's now looking into having her eggs fertilized and thinking about, the years running out in terms of her becoming a mother, of course, it's not going to be on her mind like, well, I'm about to be in a damn car accident. Let me go ahead and set these things up. Where it becomes an issue for me is You guys say, oh, we found you as the next of kin at her paperwork at the job. But now you're saying, oh, that paperwork is just for the job. She needed to have separate paperwork, so we still got to find somebody else. But if there's nobody else, then what? And if this is the only paperwork you have, then what? I just feel like I already see the direction they're going in, and I see the way that they want to swing the story and what they are trying to do. But I'm not necessarily agreeing with the way that they're going about doing it. Is there still a lesson in there that we need to have our paperwork? We need to have the I's dotted, the T's crossed? Yeah, absolutely. But it should be sufficient if she had Danny down on her paperwork. Because if there is any type of pension or insurance and things of that nature, then Danny would be down there too. If it's not no immediate family, what other family are y'all going to look for at this point? They would have just as much say so as Danny, in my opinion, because their names is not down on anything either. And so I only see that as a way, like I said, for whatever the next best laid plans is, of having another person come in and be able to say, okay, we'll go ahead and put her over there in this facility, because they ain't gonna let her stay in the hospital forever. So bottom line is, listen, she's on all these machines. She needs this certain type of care, unless they're gonna have a flatline. But outside of that, it would be, we gotta move her to a more so long-term care facility where she over there. We ain't gotta be bothered with her. She out the cut, because the actress that's already pretty much announced that she ain't coming back, right? And congratulations to her. Wish her all the best. Definitely, her and Ebony. I want nothing but good things for them. That's fine. But it's just kind of bothering me, y'all. It's rubbing me the wrong way, because one is a heavy weight on you when you feel like you're the one that's in charge. You could tell Danny was really shocked by this. She's shocked that Sabrina was in an accident. Of course, she wasn't expecting that. She didn't know she was going to be going through the craziness with this cop. When they brought up to her that she was the next of kin in the hospital, you could really tell she was surprised by that. And now that she is, it's like, okay, what is my position? What do I have to do? What's the decisions I'm going to have to make? Only to turn around now and tell her, girl, no. Okay? You don't have no decision making over Sabrina Care, which means we're going to pretty much do what the hell we want to do with her. And that's going to stress her out even more. On one hand, you may feel that she's going to feel free, like, okay, at least I don't have to worry about that. That's somebody else's, decision. I can focus on me and what I'm going through and get my therapy, which she does need that. But in another way, we all know she is going to be in her feelings about this, because she also is going to want the best care for Sabrina. And I just feel like we could have done this in some kind of other way. Or we could have not even told her in episode 1 that she was going to be the next of kin to begin with. I don't know if I'm making any sense to any of y'all, but child, that really was weighing on me. And I already know ahead of time as I watch this episode that it's really going to be irking my nerves. I know that it is. I don't even need to see it to know, because if you guys have been following and have been watching the other videos, I've already pretty much been open about it, and I was like, they better not do it, and now we here, and it's definitely, that's the place they've taken us to. But moving on to then synopsis number 9, okay, we are going to have, the name of this is Visiting Hours, right? And we're seeing that during a quiet dinner with Dr. Vaughn, Andy locks eyes with a familiar face across the room, setting off a chain of uneasy encounters and buried truths. I'm number one gonna say is damn braggedy as Dr. Cruz, I would assume. Possibly Gary, which his ass is supposed to be long gone, but I think I've seen something about him potentially being in some part of this season, so you never know. I even thought Penelope, but I don't see how, what would we need her back for? That really doesn't make no sense. And I'm seeing it saying setting off a chain of uneasy encounters and buried truths. So I'm leaning more towards that, unless it possibly could be this person from the past, which we don't know who that is yet. That's the link between her and her sister. Maybe, I don't know. Y'all put in the comments, let me know what y'all think about that. And also the fact that episode 8 did also mention Fatima getting closer to finding the truth about who was behind the whole situation that Andy went through, right? I'm also figuring like now you're gonna have Zach and Fatima some kind of way intertwining with Madison because we really haven't been getting that much of Madison. We've mostly been getting Cheyenne, who's been irking my nerves. We're gonna have her being all thirsty, ready to hump everybody that's in damn sight. We've seen her all over damn Zach. And then now moving on to Hayden and shit. Her and Hayden deserve each other, in my opinion. I'm like, whatever. And more than likely, with Maurice and them putting out the, you know, we need help sign, okay, I'm assuming that eventually she will get a job working there at the salon, and that's where they're going to lead her into. Right now, I don't care about either one of those ladies. They have not gave me anything to make me care about them. If we start opening up and getting some more things and going in a different direction, then maybe I'll feel differently about it. I don't give a damn about Cheyenne and her story for right now, where we at so far. Okay. And then Sistas season 10, episode 10. We have amidst a whirlwind of personal conflicts and hidden truths. Danny struggles to stay away from Officer Green while those around her grapple with love, betrayal, and the weight of their choices. So, whew, I'm so mad that Danny is still gonna be out here struggling. She's still gonna be trying to stay away from Officer Green. So has she finally even told anybody at this point about what happened to him and she just don't want to have to face him? Or is she still hiding everything and just still trying to avoid him altogether? Um those around her grappling with love, betrayal, and the weight of their choices. Mm, I'm wondering what that's about. Like, I'm assuming that Andy and her sister possibly could be going through some stuff. Like, we see her literally online and taking pictures. I think that's a bad idea. I think whoever she is in conflict with or running away from, that her mom asked, Andy for her to stay in the first place, possibly could be swinging back around. I don't know. Between that and what we heard about Andy seeing somebody, I don't know what it would be for Fatima. Like, what is a decision that she's made or something that she's going to have to grapple with love, betrayal, and the weight of choices? I don't really know what that would be for Fatima. Like, I could see that being even, Rich. I'm sorry, not Rich, but Tony and Danny maybe still kind of grappling with their choices and where the relationship has came to now. I really did like that at least he admitted that gambling and stealing and stuff was wrong and that he played a part in the breakup. And I love how he has been there for her. He has been checking on her. I appreciated him calling the girls. I appreciated him calling the psychiatrist, the counselor, whatever. Like, I give credit where credit is due. I call it down the middle, even though he's not one of my favorite people. I absolutely feel like he has handled the situation with Danny correctly so far. And so I don't know if maybe they're still grappling and maybe it's some grappling, with Andy and her sister. I don't see any reason why she should be grappling with them. Dr. Vaughn at this point, right? They claimed they were starting over fresh as friends. I don't know what it would be with Fatima and Zach unless it's, he start acting a certain way, which I doubt it because I don't know what it would be with them because they still seem like they was on pretty good terms just with him even feeling down that he had lost the bidding and all of that. So I'm curious to see what it would be. But if y'all guys have any, predictions, put it in the comments. Let's discuss it down there. Of course, like I said, we will be live tomorrow night for the watch party. And I just want to kind of share those, child, since I had them up here for so long. I was like, you might as well go ahead and use them. And I really wanted to give my opinion on this whole dab on Danny is the next of kin, but now she's not the next of kin. We're going to say goodbye to Sabrina, or we not gonna say goodbye to Sabrina? Like, do we need to go ahead and have the funeral? Do we need to have the repast, baby? Do we need to make the chicken, the macaroni and cheese, the potato salad, the candy yams, the cakes, the pies? What is going down with the truth? Okay, but y'all put it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think any of this could be. Make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe. If you are so inclined, give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. Till next time, y'all. Child, they gonna piss me off with this episode, y'all. I already know they gonna do it. I know it in my heart and my soul, but we still gonna be here. We gonna lean with it, roll with it, rock with it, do it all. Welcome. Come in. This is Tamika's Den. I'm Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the Den.
Go lock in with Tamika's Den. Ooh, that's fun. Go lock in with Tamika's Den.
Power to the people.